Hello again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. We're going to talk about tips for pruning and buying roses today. So it is December, you're getting all the stuff wrapped up for Christmas and Hanukkah and all these fun holidays, but in the back of your head you're going, boy, I would love to have a rose garden that looks like this. What's a good way to do it? Well, first, let's talk real quick about pruning roses. Now, I'm going to just go through some quick highlights, 30 seconds on rose pruning in this particular part of the video. The full video, which is only 5 minutes long, is in the link below, so make sure to click on that to see this in regular speed, not this crazy fast speed. So here's the quick 30-second version of how to prune roses. First, you're basically going to chop the tops off the roses so you can really see the inside and get to the heart of those canes. And once you get to the heart and you can see those canes, you want to trim it down to about 3 or 4 good outward-facing canes with your little hand pruners like that. So you're cleaning the middle out, get all that stuff out, get down to the canes, trim to those 3 canes. Once you've trimmed your 3 or 4 canes that you really like that are going to produce the really good growth, it's also really important that you clean all that foliage off. Get every single leaf off the rose bush. And then make sure you clean all that soil off. You got to clear all the soil off because that's where your overwintering fungus comes from. So make sure to get all that fungusy soil cleaned off. You're going to mulch it later. Once you're done pruning it, grow mulch is great stuff to put on that rose. All right, big breath. Now, let's talk about rose shopping. You're going to start seeing these bare root roses everywhere in the nurseries in the coming weeks. But how do you decide what kind of garden do you want? I'm going to talk about 5 different kinds of roses that you're going to see in the nurseries for the most part. What's the best one to suit your needs? All right, so first up are these shrub roses. Now, shrub roses are things like David Austin roses, really kind of nice roses for giving you some fragrance, not your classic rose form. As you can see, they're the double petaled, lots of petals, interesting fragrance. Some are fragrant, some are not that fragrant. They also tend to be big roses that tend to be floppers. They're really nice for fences and arbors and those kind of things. So if you have fences and arbors, shrub roses are really neat. If you want just a stunning bouquet of roses, I recommend Floribundas. Floribundas are going to give you 8 to 12 little flowers on each stem. They literally are a wonderful florist bouquet of roses on a single stem. Here are some of my favorite varieties, and by the way, there's links in the video description for buying a bunch of these varieties online. But again, if you want a bunch of little blooms, Floribundas are the way to go. Some have fragrance, some don't, but these ones, especially these icebergs, are very tough, give you lots and lots and lots of color. Not necessarily lots of fragrance, but lots and lots and lots of color. Now, a kind of a version of these Floribundas are these roses that are called Grandifloras. Grandifloras are crosses between Floribundas and hybrid teas. What that means is you're going to get maybe 3 flowers to a stem. You're going to get more fragrance. You're going to have a more classic rose shape, good for those vases, but not quite a hybrid tea. So although some look a lot like a hybrid tea, like this Love looks like a hybrid tea, but you're going to get a little bit more classic form to it. And again, Grandifloras are big roses. They're going to be 5, 6 feet tall. So again, if you have space for it in your garden, like you see there, big roses, then Grandifloras are great for giving you some of that classic color, some interesting colors and forms, and some fragrance. The 4th kind of rose are climbing roses. Climbing roses are great if you have an arbor, like this one in Bob's garden. We did this arbor, and in just 4 years, look how big these roses got. So these are some of my favorite climbing roses. 4th of July, I think, is the best one of all. Lady Banks is an old reliable, going all the way back to Tombstone, Arizona, 140 years ago. But there's a lot of great other ones. And by the way, and finally the last one are the hybrid teas. These are your classic single rose to a stem, Beauty and the Beast, fabulous roses, lots of ones with fragrance. And by the way, we're going to come through some of these in a lot more detail, hybrid teas and Floribundas and climbing roses and all those in the coming month ahead. So don't feel like I'm rushing through all this. This is just kind of a broad overview of all these different kinds of roses. and tips for shopping. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick little introduction to rose shopping. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to get more of these garden videos. And definitely stay tuned. I have 4 more videos on roses coming in the weeks ahead to kind of help you with more information about rose shopping and what are some good colors and combinations to look for. Well, that's all the time we have for today. This is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks so much for watching.